So this Omar Fateh, I don't know how you say his name, but he's this dude from, well, he's from America, but he's pretty much grassroots Somalia. I think he was born in America, believe it or not. There's a lot of people who are saying, this guy's not from America, but I think he actually is, and but his allegiance is to America, FYI. If you watch some of his other videos, I got one I'm going to show you right now where he's doing that thing where they get mad at he hates white people. He even says it, and everybody that's white or is involved in some kind of superiority thing where we're the superior race is what he says, and he even calls out all the people in front of him that are sitting on the row. And there's another video too that I'll play. It's his people have been caught up in a voting scheme. I'll play that video too. I'm gonna stick these all together, and it's like, are they trying to take the heat off of Mom Dami over there in New York City, whatever, because by the way, this is all happening in Minnesota. Minneapolis is that Omar dude is running for mayor there, albeit a small job, a small political position. You've got to take in consideration that this is all a thing that the Open Society Foundations and other individuals that are in charge of doling out money to campaigns to gain wins wherever they can, and they realize that how effective it is on a grassroots level to do this. And so you can have way more effect on policy on the state level than you can on the federal level. This is very alarming because they're going to do this in other states. Oh, they have been, but it's going to get a lot worse. So let me play you these two videos back to back of Omar dude, and let's not forget about Imam Dami and what he's been tied to in New York, and election integrity and the education on what's going on is a big factor, a huge factor. It's just, we guys, we got a country to save. We can't give up now. We got to keep moving forward. If we throw the towel in, then they for sure won. We got to politically and peacefully, patriotically fight for our freedom. Everybody, all Americans of all color and all creed, that are Americans. Here you go. Watch this.
We heard a lot of insults. We heard that they're a threat to our national security, and that's a flat-out lie. You want to know who the real threat is, Madam President? I'll give you a hint. They don't look like our chief author. They don't look like the folks up in the gallery. They don't look like the folks out in the rotunda. They look like many of the members that sit in the front. And you don't have to take my word for it. According to DHS, Madam President, the greatest domestic threat facing the United States comes from, quote, racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists, specifically those who advocate for the superiority of the white race, not our immigrants. We are safer and we're better off because of them.
Fateh didn't respond when his brother-in-law, Musa Muhammad, was convicted of lying to a federal grand jury about ballots he turned in on behalf of other voters in 2020 without their permission.
So based on the advice of my lawyer, I'm again going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right and decline to answer.
Dawson Kimyon was Fateh's campaign manager, but took the Fifth Amendment repeatedly when asked about the campaign. Eventually, the panel dropped the second complaint, finding no evidence that Fateh knew about the ballot situation.
And let us not forget about Lorianne Lee Combs and Ronnie Williams of Minnesota, who have recently pled guilty to a voter scheme mirroring the same operations as GBI strategies, which was that was actually uncovered somewhere after the 2020 election. And there was some dealings with the midterms when they actually went in on the place. It was under investigation by FBI, but then later everything was just swept under the rug. And with GBI strategies, they found all these firearms, credit cards, debit cards, cash money, ballots, all this stuff. Nothing ever came of that, But then I believe it was just kind of like, since it was discovered, it was moved to the side and then rebranded. And just so far, these two people have pleaded guilty, but it goes far, far beyond any of that. This is, I'm only just exposing Minnesota. California just recently had some stuff that happened to some people. And anyways, I just wanted to bring these articles and this stuff to you because we are still in a very perilous time. And by the way, perilous is a different word than peerless. The victory that we may achieve at some point in time with our efforts is a peerless victory, meaning the fact that usually whenever you overcome an enemy, that enemy has levers that can be pulled in the losing stages. And those levers can cause serious harm to the things around you. So could you imagine a world where our victory, we are victorious in our efforts and we gain our freedom, but as this all goes down, certain levers are pulled that destroy things around us, so that it's a very hard victory to deal with. That could happen. It doesn't mean we're all going to have French toast and fresh bottled water. We could end up having to eat it for a little while, guys. So, thank you guys for watching. All right, I'm out.